Welcome to Behind the Spotlight. I am Crystal Lampett, and if you have been out and about, you've probably heard these guys perform. Proud to present the Electric Lungs. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you.
We're going to kick it off with Ilium Works. Okay, take it away.
I won't be waiting for them. 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 Sitting beneath the lights that suck my soul clean. I feel my skin begin to tear and to deplete. Life is much simpler, cardiovascular, self-sustaining engine with no operator. I feel my problems growing fewer and smaller as my opinion goes too hard to swallow. My flesh are non-existent, my brain now thought resistant. In and out of valleys I will slide. I won't be waiting for them. 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 It's too late to get it right, to cut my head out of my mind. It's too late to get it right, to cut my head out of my mind. I'm fully dedicated to the greater good. I am expelling all the things that greed I should. I am mechanized, simplified and civilized, proving that the gray inside is overrated. Pumping and pushing into my neighbor. I will do no wrong, I'll do no right. Backward motion is the savior. You're no longer you and I'm no longer I. I won't be waiting for them. 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 It's too late to get it right, to cut my head out of my mind. It's too late to get it right, to cut my head out of my mind. I won't be waiting for them. I won't be waiting for them. I won't be waiting. I won't be waiting for them. They won't be waiting for me. I won't be waiting for them.
And that was Ilium Works by the Electric Lungs. Now, I'm very interested in this song because the lyrics are kind of different. You're talking about being mechanized. Is this song about something that we're losing that makes us less human? What is it really about? What inspired it?
Well, it's kind of about the mechanization of society, basically. So, you know, machines do more work for us and we lose more purpose, basically. So,
What was the inspiration behind that?
it's a Kurt Vonnegut novel called Player Piano. And Ilium Works is the name of the factory that is now all mechanized, so nobody has a job to do.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
ilium it's a bone. It's a bone in your hip.
Right, but in this book, it's the name of the factory.
It's his name. Interesting.
Yeah.
So did you all sort of collaborate on this?
This was the first song that we wrote together as a band when we first started. So that was kind of interesting.
For us, it's more about us writing the music, and kind of Trip comes and with
He brings the
vocals and lyrics.
idea, the concept,
Yeah.
maybe a riff or something.
So I
and we
came in
all-
with a
Are you
riff.
the
and then-
visionary?
No, I'm not. But I mean, I don't know. I do write a lot, and I sit around and fiddle a lot on the guitar at home, and I come in with something cool, and then they make it cooler.
I see.
So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very collaborative effort.
What is that process like for you? Do you have to feel particularly inspired to be able to start? Because I know that's something that a lot of artists struggle with, is like, how do I just bust out a song?
Well, for me, it's always, you just always have to produce, whether it's good or bad. So I've got like tapes and tapes full of awful ideas. Hopefully nobody will ever hear.
That no one will.
Yeah.
You're like, after I die, someone burn those.
Yeah. Or they can listen to them. I'll be dead. I don't care. So.
And then you don't care. There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, that's interesting because I think sometimes just doing it also motivates you.
Yes.
You know, it's not necessarily that you sit around and you wait for the motivation. You just kind of do,
Right.
and then something comes out.
Something good will come out eventually.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's one of those things too.
That's the
We
plan.
always have to
Yeah.
be doing something. So
Yeah.
it's like even if we have like a bunch of shows and we take a couple weeks off, we're all ready to get back to practice and
Yeah.
ready to get back to rehearsing and writing and stuff too. So
Yeah.
it's something I think we all need.
Yeah, for sure. It's an outlet.
Yeah,
All right. Well, we will be right back with more with Electric Lungs on Behind the Spotlight after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Behind the Spotlight. I'm hanging here with the Electric Lungs, and I just want to know sort of the band overview. How long have you guys been together?
Well, it started out with Eric and Mark and I. We played in a band together called Action Figure for about 10 years, right? 10 years? We started
was a
in
long time.
2005. And then after that band ended, we decided to get back together to try something new, and we brought Jason in, to really just kind of make it different, like try to pull together something that we hadn't done before.
Nice.
Sort of, so.
So how did that change your sound?
Well, I mean,
We have keyboards.
yeah, we have keyboards. There's that.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, and it's with that machine, I can throw in just so many different sounds. I mean, it's a synthesizer. If I want to play an organ on a song, I can do that. If I want to play a grand piano, I can do that. And if I want to play, Asian percussion sounds, I can do that. And we do that, and sometimes we do it all in the same song. So, I mean,
It's
it gives
true.
you a lot of options.
You
I
have
mean,
a very eclectic sound.
And that's what that brings to it, basically, because basically we're just a punk band. But when you add the keyboard in, it just adds a whole different element to it. So he's kind of our secret weapon.
You were the secret ingredient.
He
comic.
is.
Is there a particular goal? Because I know that in past interviews you've said you didn't necessarily have these big expectations for the band. So what is the ultimate goal then, if it's not rock stardom?
I think just to produce
Good music.
everything, just to make music as much as we want and do it in any way we want to, and we don't want to stay stuck on one style or anything like that. So.
Yeah.
I would add too, I mean, the goal is to do it as much as we can for as long as we can. I mean, none of us are young, really. I mean, we all have jobs. Most of us have kids, and we're all pretty busy. And to find the time to do this, we don't all live in right on top of each other either. So I mean, it's you have to devote time to it. You have to commit to it. And my goal is just to be able to make sure that happens for as long as it possibly can.
How do you make that happen with busy lives and families, jobs, day jobs? I mean, is it band practice once a week, or how do you make it a priority?
We have a set practice night, and we're all really driven to do it. I mean, none of us have to drag each other to practice. So
That's nice.
we're all ready to be there when we're supposed to be there, same with shows and stuff like that.
We've got supportive family and stuff too. That
Yeah.
my wife totally
helps.
supports what I do and loves that I'm doing this. So.
That you're doing something creative. It's
Yeah.
probably a nice outlet too, to get away from the hustle and bustle.
Oh, sure.
And
Sometimes it's the thing that you look forward to while you're hustling and bustling. It's like, when do I get to do this again?
There's a stress
Yeah.
reliever. Yeah.
yeah, it sounds like something maybe that you need almost. It's a creative outlet.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, do you need it or do you want it? I
Yeah.
mean, when it's not there, it's easy to come to the conclusion. It's just like, wow, now I know what's missing.
You
I mean,
notice it.
Yeah. If we don't, I mean, I didn't play. I was sick. I didn't play for a couple months, and
really?
yeah, and it was like, wow, I missed this, and.
And it was just so amazing to get back to it.
Well, weird at first, but then you're like,
Rusty.
okay, now I know how important this is, and I think once you kind of risk losing it, maybe for whatever reason, you're like, okay, I can't allow that to happen. I won't allow that to happen.
And I have noticed some differences between your first and your second album, and there was a bit of a span of time in between producing those two. What life changes were going on for you guys at that time that
I think
changed?
a lot of it's just the addition of Jason, because a
Okay.
lot of the stuff on the first album we wrote kind of coming right out of Action Figure, so we
Yeah.
didn't have a lot of Jason's input on the first album. He came in and performed like awesome. Came in and did all the parts and recorded what he needed to record. The second album had a lot more input.
We all work
Musician.
together more.
Yeah.
More of a collaboration for sure.
how about things in your life that were changing that maybe inspired certain sounds or lyrics or songs?
I had a kid and I got married.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
That's a
and
big
so I
deal.
wrote a love song for that album.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Which song was that?
It's called, what is that?
Fatally Pleased.
Fatally Pleased, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good song, or
It
is
is
it
a
one of
good-
those? Okay, so sometimes I hear love songs,
Is it one of
and I
those?
get like
It's not a ballad. Yeah, it's not a ballad.
it's not a ballad.
No.
Okay, I like that. So then now you are working on your latest album currently.
Right.
So what's the vibe with this one?
We decided to do an EP on the next one, and the reason we did that is because we just had these songs that we really loved and we wanted to go ahead and put out. And like I said, we just kind of want to produce more so.
Are there any significant changes, or are you trying to steer your sound or your image in a certain direction with this next album?
I think maybe trying to be a little more deliberate with writing. We definitely are trying to think about what type of song we want to write when we start sometimes, and try to steer the actual song in a direction kind of.
This is
Set
actually our
intention.
first recording too with Middle Class Records. So we
Oh,
just
that's
kinda-
right.
Yeah, so we just got signed to that. So kind of doing this EP is just our fresh start with the record label and next steps. Yeah.
I like that. And you do have a quite a diverse fan base. Is there a certain audience that you're trying to reach?
Anyone that'll listen.
People that love
really.
music. We want to reach the people that love music. People that support local music. People that just love music for the sake of loving music.
I think when we do a show and we see people reacting, and there's a lot of, I guess, commotion, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
It's very kinetic. I mean, and I think anyone that wants that. I mean, some people could call it escapism, but I think it's that's where you belong. You're not running from anything by participating in this and by doing this. This is actually what's more natural. What's right.
That is an interesting sort of comparison, that for some people view music as an escape, but others it's really more of a connection. So is that what you feel like people are getting out of it at your shows, is really the connection with you as artists? To your music?
I think so. I mean, it's hard to say whether they're connecting with us individually and what we think of as art. But I mean, I think, I think we generally walk away from a show saying that was a good show if it looks like that people were having fun. If they were having as much fun as we were having, they were like, okay, that was good.
Yep.
Yeah, you can feel the vibe from the audience, the energy from the audience.
And you can see it, and it is reciprocal. I mean, we do feed off them and they off us. And
Yeah, it's definitely. I would agree with that. And you do have a 7-year-old fan, right? You have a very
do.
special lady in your life.
Lucy, yeah.
Tell
we
us
do.
about Lucy.
No, one of my best friends, Ken, he came over to a rehearsal one time and he brought his 6-year-old daughter. She was 5 then, and she just kind of fell in love with the band, which is just great. So we've made her T-shirts. I just printed some T-shirts for her, and it's been really great because with Lucy coming to like if you're doing an all-age show, I mean she's right up front.
She knows every word.
She knows every
That's
lyric,
awesome.
every song, and it's been really great because for me personally, I've been able to kind of share music with her.
Yeah.
So like for Christmas last year, for me as a drummer, I was able to get her a drum set, which has been great. So she's still
She's
playing
gonna love
drums.
you forever
Yeah,
for
she's
that.
still playing drums. She's doing School of Rock, which is
Great.
great. She's starting to
She's
perform
developing
too.
it.
And
Yeah.
it's fantastic, and her and her dad are great.
You should write her a song. I think Lucy needs a song.
Yeah,
Probably
And
should.
maybe, maybe
probably
on the
should.
next album, right?
definitely.
Okay, so I do want to get to our 4 favorites. Starting off just down the line, favorite book.
Breakfast of Champions by Kurt Vonnegut.
Kurt Vonnegut. You're a Kurt Vonnegut fan.
I am a
I'm
Kurt Vonnegut
sensing a
fan.
pattern here
Yeah, there
about
is.
Cat's Cradle. I've read Cat's Cradle.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Cat's Cradle's good too.
And you?
I think my favorite book is probably Hyperion by Dan Simmons, which is he's science fiction, but he actually got to start as a horror writer. So this is like a combination of sci-fi and horror, and it's I think one of the best books I've ever read.
Very engrossing one. It
Oh
sounds
my
like.
God,
Like
yeah.
you can't put it down.
It's like
Maybe
it should be
don't read it right
taught in
before
schools.
bed.
It should be taught in
Really?
schools.
Okay. I
think
might have to check that out. How about you?
Probably overall, I really like the Dark Tower series by Stephen King.
Stephen King, you like the Dark Towers. They're intense and they're
Yeah.
very interesting. I haven't read the whole series. I've sort of heard snippets here and there from audiobooks, but Stephen King's a good one.
Yeah.
Classic, can't go wrong.
Such a weird book. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle
Oh,
Maintenance.
good one.
Yeah. No, and
I was
it's
actually
it's
thinking
really
about
about it's about a dad and his son kind of doing cross-country motorcycle trip, and it's the maintenance.
Is it
and the-
nonfiction? Or is it?
It's nonfiction.
Oh, it's
It's a very cool book.
it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, which parts are embellished? We're not so sure.
I have no idea.
Okay, I've not heard of that one.
So it's
That's
from the
a new one.
70s. It was
74. Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay, cool. I might have to check that out. And then movies. Favorite movie?
Oh man, I'm gonna be a total dude and say Fight Club.
Fight Club? We don't
Most
talk about
masculine.
Fight
No,
Club.
we don't talk
You're not
about
supposed
Fight
to
Club.
talk
I have an
talk about it.
extraordinary situation. It's a 3-way tie because I've been thinking about this. Even while we were playing, I was like,
You're like,
no,
this is
it's not
such a
that.
tough question.
I was like, Inception,
Okay.
Jacob's Ladder, and I think The Ninth Gate. I just really like The Ninth Gate.
I've only seen Inception out of those, so I'll have to put
get
the
busy.
others on my list. How about you?
Two-way tie. I'm a Star Wars geek,
Uh-huh.
first and foremost, but man, I love Quentin Tarantino and Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Yep.
I think a lot of our viewers would probably agree with you. It's hard to escape either of those. How about you?
My favorite movie is Friday.
Okay.
It has been for years and years. I've watched that movie so many times.
Ice Cube one?
Ice Cube, yeah.
A little comic relief, that helps.
Friday.
And this is a tough one. Favorite musician, artist?
Right now, I really like Future of the Left there,
Okay.
just as a band.
Not familiar with them.
they're a British band.
Okay.
I'm stuck on them for right now.
It's probably hard for me to not say Radiohead. They've just been
Oh,
a favorite
wow.
for a long,
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah. When you've got a history with them too, you know, and you go way back with Radiohead, it's kind of hard to beat that. How about you?
It's been the same since high school. Iron Maiden.
Nice.
Can't you tell by the banjo and all
There
that?
you go. Yeah.
For me, it's Dave Grohl.
Dave
Foo
Grohl.
Fighters, yeah.
I like
Nirvana,
Dave Grohl.
yep.
Yeah. Those are all some solid answers. And then the very last question, your favorite fan or story or experience that you have had as a band?
Yeah, we were having a hard time wrestling on this. but
I know.
I think going down to Austin, you remember when the sound went out? We were playing,
God, all right,
we were
yes.
playing the Mid-Coast Takeover in Austin, where
Nice.
they,
So we did,
they get a
yeah,
bunch of bands come down to
Yeah,
Kansas
yeah.
City. And so we were playing and the sound went out, and so we had
It's
nothing.
like 10 seconds into the second song.
Right, we drove all this way, and so we just played anyway.
We had our on-stage
And-
amplifiers, our
and just-
on-stage sound.
We had our
just cranked it
amplifiers, but
up.
no microphones, so I just got in front of the stage and yelled all the lyrics, and everybody was incredibly supportive. So afterwards, all of the people came up and were like, "That was the best. That was so awesome that you guys did that." And I think they probably liked us more that way than if we had actually, like maybe.
That if they could have
they
actually
could
heard
have
what
actually
you were
heard us,
saying.
but they just liked that we did that, and it was a nice.
That you powered
Nice
through.
back and forth, and all the fans were so supportive and stuff like that. So it was really cool.
So
was a
could
great
you
night.
even hear yourself then very well?
No, I mean,
Not really.
Yeah, the
No.
amps were on. That was it. So that's all we had.
Because I can hear with nothing but amps, and it's tough to hear exactly what's going
Well, if
on.
you've
Yeah.
got Jason on the other side of the stage, really, I couldn't hear any keys because I was on the other side.
Yeah.
All I could hear was me, and I could hear him.
And the amp, and the amps
And the
are
drums.
facing,
And the drums,
yeah.
yep.
But again, we've been playing together for so long. We're kind of locked in
It's
on
probably
this.
muscle memory.
It was
then
the
on
ultimate
stage, too.
memory
It
test.
is, yeah.
It was.
Like asking someone to, I don't know, like to do a complicated dance move just completely blindfolded. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, let's do it. We're here.
Did you ever like hear the playback and think like, hey, actually we sounded pretty good? Or
Yeah,
did you?
was there any video?
We
of
had a
that?
lot of feedback. I didn't see any video and I
Right.
didn't hear anything, but a lot of feedback from other bands, from fans. People were all coming up going, wow, that was pretty awesome.
Well, at the end of the day, that's what's really important, right?
Yeah,
Is
it
what
was
your
fun.
fans are saying about you. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much
thank
for
you.
being
Thank
here.
you.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
I won't be waiting for them. I won't be waiting for them. I won't be waiting for them.
And a big thank you to the Electric Lungs for being on Behind the Spotlight tonight. And we do have one more song coming up. But first, we got to know, where can we find your music? Where can we find you on social media? All of the above.
Yeah, we're on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook is the Electric Lungs KC, and Instagram is Lungs KC.
Perfect.
And we've got a Twitter account. I have no idea what's
Twitter,
going on.
and then your music is on. You've got a website.
Yeah,
You've got Bandcamp.
yeah,
and all
it's
that
all
stuff.
over the place. So if you find those things, you'll find our music. And then
Perfect.
Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff, and local record stores, of course.
Local record stores, of course.
Yep.
All right, well, we got one more song, and it is called That's Love. Now, this is on the album that you're currently working on, right?
Correct.
So it's one of your newer songs.
It is.
All right, That's Love by the Electric Lungs.
It's got you by the heart and it won't let go. It can speed you up, it can make you slow. Some people try to put it out, but they can never stop burning. Or they try to start it up and they can never get it going. That's love, my friends. That's love. That's love, my friends. That's love. That's love, my friends. That's love. And I'll take what I can get. Yeah. it up and it's difficult to keep.